Everything you need to know about cervical checks in 2 minutes. Hi, I'm Maddie. Let's talk birth. In order to know what a cervical check is, you need to know what your cervix is. Your cervix is located between your uterus and your cervix looks like a closed sea anemone. Your cervix's job is to keep baby up and in your uterus till it's done cooking and is to prevent any infections from reaching baby. Once you're in labor, your cervix will start to dilate, which means it's going to open up, and it will start to efface, which means it's going to thin. Your cervix will open all the way up to 10 centimeters to allow baby to come down through your uterus and out through the vaginal canal. At the end of your pregnancy, before you go into labor, your cervix is going to start to prep or get ready. And every cervix does something different. Some dilate, some don't, some get thin, some don't. What your cervix doesn't do, it doesn't tell you when you're going to go into labor. Now, what is a cervical check? A cervical check is when a care provider takes their arm, pretty much their hand, up your vaginal canal to assess how big your cervix is, if it's dilated at all or if it's effaced at all. Now, you may be offered a cervical check at the end of your pregnancy and during labor. Now, at the end of your pregnancy, if your healthcare provider was like, hey, let's check your cervix to see if you're going to go into labor soon, you could be like, you know what, pass. Maddie just taught me that that's not a real thing. Because he may check you and you'll be like, oh, hey, you're at a 4. You're going to go into labor tonight. But you actually don't go into labor for 2 more weeks.
Rough.
Or you're at a 0 and you go into labor that night, but he said you were going to go into labor in 2 more weeks. It is not a good telltale sign of when you're going to go into labor. Now, some healthcare providers may have a reason they want to check you at the end of your pregnancy. So remember, we listen to them and then we decide whether we feel like it's necessary or not. You're going to be offered cervical checks during labor. Now, every healthcare provider is different. Some like to check you and some do not. Some believe it causes for risk of infection and think it makes you tighten up during labor when they want you to loosen up and relax. Now, some healthcare providers will have medical reasons that they feel like they need to check you. So you get to ask, why do you want to check me? And they get to explain why they want to. Then you get to decide whether you feel like it's necessary or not. Now remember, this is your body, your baby, your birth. You get to decide what you feel like is necessary or not.